Chief.
John. When the game is over, the king and the pawn go back into the same box.
We are microchip technology. Yes, that microchip. We're known for our microcontrollers that power everyday electronics.
But we also make a lot of other embedded digital and analog control solutions that you may not be aware of. For instance,
we're the #1 supplier to military and aerospace.
We are the only semiconductor company that invests in 8, 16, and 32-bit microcontrollers and driving adoption of RISC-V architectures.
We have shipped over 1.7 billion devices for more than 220 vehicle models around the world.
We have been to space. A lot.
We are the #1 supplier of capacitive touchscreen controllers.
We are the #1 supplier in USB and infotainment connectivity.
70% of the world's timekeeping is done by our products.
If you opened a garage door,
visited an ATM,
made a cup of coffee,
locked your car,
clocked in for work,
or assembled a toy for your kids,
you've interacted with our products without even knowing it.
Well, the Biden administration is again choosing to focus on national security and the military with its second CHIPS Act grant of $162 million to Microchip. Microchip makes these small chips used for very specific technology tasks, so not like the NVIDIA chips that we always talk about used in AI systems. These mature chips are critical, though, for America's auto sector, the industrial, as well as defense industries. So what's the money is going to be $90 million of the CHIPS Act grant going to modernize a fab in Colorado, and the remaining 72 will be for a fab in Oregon. Senior administration officials promised that this grant would triple production and provide roughly 700 new U.S. jobs. The goal is, of course, to reshore and be less reliant on foreign suppliers. Rather than pick Intel or Taiwan Semi as first recipients, the Biden administration is choosing to focus on national security chip producers like Microchip. Just a few weeks ago, the first official CHIPS Act award of $35 million was allocated to BAE Systems, a military contractor. So the $53 billion CHIPS Act funding actually has $39 billion allocated to all of these manufacturers on American soil. The Department of Commerce will have their hands full after receiving roughly 570 statements of interest and over 170 pre and full applications for funding. That means out of that $39 billion, there's still a lot more money left to be dispersed to other companies. So we're expecting more awards in Q1 of this year.
You know, the money is kind of slow to get out. I've heard from some companies who have complained about this and gone on and back and forth. It takes a long time to build up these fabs. It takes a long time, I would guess, to retool them. How long are we talking before we really get an influx of new chips that are
it'll be
produced here?
5+ years. To your point, the fabs could take anywhere between 3 and 5 years. Many of these companies have started construction. Specifically with Microchip, they actually announced that they were going to be building these fabs and modernizing it back in February. So they did this before even receiving the CHIPS Act funding. The CHIPS Act funding is only going to contribute maybe 10% of the total cost. They promised $880 million. So it's a small portion, and the government wants you to know that it's not a handout. We're trying to incentivize private investment on U.S. soil. So it's a combination of private and public. The problem, though, from the CHIPS side is that it's taking a while, but then the government side, I did a whole piece on it. They'll argue, what are you talking about? Since February 2022, we've already given 2 awards. It takes a lot of people. We have over 100 staff members, 500 applications or statements of interest, I should say. So it's not an easy task. And the whole goal is to, stop relying as much on China. And it's interesting with this is focusing on these mature chips. And the concern in the near future is we're all focused on AI. We're cutting off China, and China is just going to continue to dominate on the mature node side, which is for the auto sector, industrial. And so that's what the Biden administration is showing, that, we also need to focus on these mature chips, too.
As far as the currency devaluations, I've been complaining about that for a long time.
And I believe that we will all eventually, and probably very much sooner than a lot of people understand or think, we will be all at a level playing field.
Cash will be phased out, and that process is already underway. It's no longer accepted for payment everywhere, and a previous government tried to ban some cash transactions and even cancel the $100 note. For those unaware of the history, that was the freedom-loving Liberal government, by the way. Anyway, once everyone is used to a purely digital payment means, they can simply flick a switch to move the monetary system to the blockchain. You will not even notice this until it actually impacts you. You see, blockchain-based currency is also programmable currency. Government could theoretically limit your ability to spend your money in any way they want to. And they'd also have total control over your money. Say you get a speeding fine. Wait for the cheque to go. They can take the cash directly from your account. What if you go to a meeting for the wrong political cause? You could have all your money frozen, for example. Maybe you put something on social media that's deemed unacceptable. Well, it could be more than just your Facebook account that's stopped. A central bank digital currency is the ultimate tool of control.
This is really the one game, and you better be ready for it. No pun intended.
You can't play God without being acquainted with the devil. The problem, Bernard, is that what you and I do is so complicated. We practice witchcraft. We speak the right words, and we create life itself out of chaos.
Are you ready for Are you ready for
My name is Chip Girl. Yes, you heard me right, Chip Girl. It is a type of technology that can do many things. One of them being opening a door. It also opens our bedroom door, as well as our office, as well as the drawers in our office. Our closet is chipped. And this is really cool. We can chip all of the doors. Look at it. We can even lock up our towels. See? We also chipped the gym. And the elevator. What the tech? Oh, whoops, it was already unlocked. Ta-da! We've also chipped the hallway and the cinema room. We also entertain a lot. So having a door and a door over there helps because we're able to lock it if we have parties and we don't want people to go on specific sides of the house. All it really is a form of technology that we can program to do cool things around our house.
Boy, this is the first time in years. Doing this all from memory. This is hard to remember in old computer language. I not only designed this, every little metal trace that you see on here, I strapped onto a drafting table, and I built this whole board myself because I wanted the chips in the ultimate perfect position.
We're planning that over half of our retail sales next year will come from Macintosh software.
Healthcare is one of the industries that leverage QR codes a lot. They are a common sight on vaccine certificates and medicine packaging. In fact, the demand for QR codes in the healthcare sector has increased by over 300% since 2018. And in case you're wondering how a QR code's being exactly used in the industry, here are some examples. First, QR codes help store the patient's medical information. This could be name, age, existing medical conditions, and medications. In China, these QR codes are added to wristbands that one can wear all the time.
Hello, who is there? Oh, good. I've been expecting you, darling. Come in.
Come in. Yes. Thank you so much for joining us. We have prepared something quite spectacular for you. A way for you and your family to take your Walt Disney World vacation to an entirely new level. Welcome to My Magic Plus.
The name was a dispute. I won.
My Magic Plus will make your Disney vacation much more personalized.
That is the My.
And provide myriad opportunities for maximum vacation enjoyment.
That is the Plus.
My Magic Plus.
Yes. They understand. Moving on.
Beyond this door is an amazing new device that allows you to connect to all the features of My Magic Plus. It's called the Magic Band.
This is no mere accessory. Its power is substantial.
Quite substantial. The Magic Band allows you to tap into all the magic of a Disney vacation.
And you must first tell them about the... Let's just say you need some quick instruction on all of its powers.
With the Magic Band on your wrist, you become a high-powered yet completely relaxed vacation superhero. You will use your band to enter the theme parks.
You will enter boldly.
Access your Fast Pass attractions.
As if you own the place.
Open the door to your room.
Which you won't have to clean.
Make purchases.
Cash is so passé, darling.
I worked for a couple of weeks every night till about 4 in the morning, laying out the little things on a big drafting table that would eventually become this board. And when I got done, I realized I had to drill 8 holes in the board. And I said, you know what? If I had only designed it a little bit differently, then I would have only had 5 holes. I tore apart my entire design, and for another 2 weeks, every night till 4 in the morning, to get it just that perfect with only 5 holes, so you would never see the 3 missing. It had to be that artistically perfect to me, because it represents yourself when you do something, when you do a great design.
Over here, we've got the very first computer we ever built, long before we even started a company, and I hand wired the entire bottom, soldered it all together. That was an Apple I, the first Apple I computer ever.
Does it get boring to tell a story?
Never.
Never gets boring?
Never. It's in my heart. Those were the most incredible times. The summer that I built the Apple I computer, I was totally aware that a revolution was close to starting.
Please note, your new abilities extend beyond the Magic Band. With My Magic Plus, you have gained the power to arrange your favorite things well in advance of your visit, including attractions, fireworks, and Disney character greetings. We call this feature Fast Pass Plus.
The important thing is that this will allow you even more time to be spontaneous. Oh no, look, what is wrong with your old vacation photos? You are not in them, too busy shooting. Snap, snap, snap. If only there were a way to put your face where it belongs. You may resume.
Add on the personal magic ability and you will receive a signature magic band. And you will have all of your vacation moments captured for you by Disney's PhotoPass photographers. You'll find them in hundreds of locations throughout the parks.
Everyone will be in the moment and in the picture.
A final point, all of the magic actually begins here in this secret location known as your home. Here you will log into My Disney Experience, the nerve center of My Magic Plus, allowing you to harness all of your new powers. This concludes your briefing. Now simply log in to review all of your new options.
Well done, darling. Prepare to embrace your new powers.
The real genius of Macintosh, the world's newest personal computer, isn't its 32-bit microprocessor or its Lisa technology, or that it captures the power of a mainframe on a board 10 by 10 inches, or even that it costs half as much as computers half as powerful. The real genius of Macintosh is that you don't have to be a genius to use it. Macintosh, the computer for the rest of us.
Well, to create a new standard, it takes something that's not just a little bit different. It takes something that's really new and really captures people's imagination. And the Macintosh, of all the machines I've ever seen, is the only one that meets that standard.
I'd been showing off my computer at the Homebrew Computer Club. I had given away my designs for the Apple I for free. Steve Jobs came into town. He'd pop into town, see what I was up to, the latest thing I designed for fun, and then he'd somehow turn them into some money for both of us. Paul Terrell, he owned a store in Mountain View. He'd seen me for quite a long time demonstrating my computer. So Steve Jobs went in to sell him some of our little boards that we built for $20. He said, no, people want to come in, they want to buy it pre-built. They want to buy the thing ready to go. it cost us $250 to build maybe, we'd sell it for $500. And then the retail price was $666.66 because I, as a mathematician, like repeating digits. And that was what it should be.
And how did we accomplish all of this?
Because of you.
Because of you.
Because of you.
Soldering things together, putting the chips together, designing them, drawing them on drafting tables. It was so much a passion in my life, and to this day, I'll stay at the bottom of the org chart being an engineer because that's where I want to be.
Sweetheart. You're okay? Are you okay?
I am. I really am. I'm fine. Honestly, I swear I'm fine.
There. We can let that breathe for 10 minutes. All looking good. I'll come back and I'll dress them.
Do you see? These are interaction nodes. If I use this finger, I can open all the doors at work, no ID. And if I just scan this in the shop, I can pay for anything up to £1,000. And look, Dad, Mom, I've just taken your photo.
Nurses are the voice of a patient and the eyes and ears of a doctor. They bridge the gap between quality care, seamless coordination, and legislation compliance. That's why, at HID, we harness the endless possibilities of RFID authentication to empower the nursing community. Supported by RFID technology, their hospital ID is converted into an authentication powerhouse. This ID gives nurses access within the hospital and beyond, from public transport and parking to the elevator and nurse rooms. It simplifies administration, allows nurses to stay updated on medical records, and securely and seamlessly access extended services, thus making the entire hospital process more efficient, faster, and at reduced costs. HID's RFID helps boost productivity, simplify processes, and improve work experience for our nurses.
We are absolutely thrilled to announce that the 2024 Republican National Convention will be held in the great city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Last year, Wisconsin-based company 3 Square Market announced its plans to install rice-sized microchips in its employees. The implants can be used to scan into the office building, to purchase food at work, and to log into the computers there.
CEO Todd Westby is back with us to talk about how the program is going so far. So, Todd, what's it been like? How many of your employees at this point have chosen to have the chip implanted, and how many do you have to go?
Yes, to date, we have 196 employees, and 92 of them are chipped to this day.
And what's it been like in terms of their experience? Has anybody said, I want this thing out of me, or when they leave, do they have to get it out?
We've had one employee that's left that had it removed. However, the vast majority of our employees absolutely love the conveniences that having this chip in their hand really brings to them.
I'm sure you've been asked this a million times, Todd, but why not a badge? Why do you have to implant a piece of equipment into people?
If it can be lost, it will be lost. And the very first day that I had this done, I actually had a late night interview, and I forgot my ID card, and I thought, I got a chip in my hand. And when I showed up at work, I scanned my hand and I was let in the front door. So it's really a huge convenience factor that the employees seem to like with it.
Everyone's going to have to chip in. That's only fair.
Everyone's going to have to chip in. That's only fair.
I have the potential to imagine the unimaginable. Think the unthinkable. See the unseeable. With the arsenal of the world's leading technology at my fingertips, I now have the ability to invent the uninventable. Rebranding into its future, Intel has enlisted House of Gaga to collaborate on a project that will showcase technology through creativity at the highest level. Our partnership will culminate in a performance that inspires to remind the world of the seed of innovation, the wizard behind the curtain, the mind behind the machine.
Number 8, we will finally complete the biometric entry-exit visa tracking system, which we need desperately. For years, Congress has required biometric entry-exit visa tracking systems, but it has never been completed. The politicians are all talk, no action, never happens, never happens. In my administration, we will ensure that this system is in place. And I will tell you, it will be on land, it will be on sea, it will be in air. We will have a proper tracking system.
It's everywhere. The toll that you just crossed, it was there. Or if you took the bus, it was on there too. And that coffee you got on the way, it was definitely there. The parking garage, yep, 100%. The elevator that took you to your floor, there as well. RFID is literally everywhere. You'll be surprised how many times you use RFID technology without even knowing it. Radio frequency identification, RFID, has been around for decades. In fact, it was used to identify friendly aircraft in World War II. Imagine that. Now imagine the important role this technology is playing in our healthcare industry. And that's why we at HID have put RFID at the center of our commitment to secure access. We support healthcare industries, ensuring patient safety, employee management, and control management. Let's take a closer look, shall we? By embedding RFID chips into standard hospital IDs, HID can turn them into an authentication powerhouse. Medical staff can have access everywhere they need it and nowhere they don't. They can unlock computer systems and securely access patient data, including documenting changes in treatment plans. Our doctors and nurses have to log into patient data systems at every interaction. Imagine them entering a password multiple times every hour. With RFID identification, powered by HID, they simply present their credentials to the reader and they're in. Electronic prescriptions are rapidly becoming the norm, especially for controlled substances. RFID tracking of prescriptions, dosage, and administration creates a digital hub of information for each patient in one place, accessible from anywhere thanks to HID. Hospitals have hundreds of interconnected staff members, providers, patients, managers, and administrators. Keeping processes lean, secure, and compliant is a never-ending task, a task made easier through the efficiency of HID's RFID technology. The visibility presented by our RFID authentication is second to none. It provides much stronger proof of presence. Management can monitor things like compliance to hygiene procedure and can track unusual behavior. HID's RFID can track more than people. Many hospitals are adding RFID tags to automate processes and locate anything of value, which in a hospital is almost everything, from keeping track of laundry to printing sensitive patient records. Everything can be tracked. Now that you know the role RFID plays in your life, look for it the next time you start your day.
It's very small. I've got a grain of rice in my hand, which I'm told approximates the size of these chips. So I kind of get that. But, you know, we all carry around our phones these days. We don't really lose those too often. Why not just have people use their phone for this kind of thing?
Because this is much more convenient. You can do a lot more really with this than you can your phone, as far as I can log into my computer with this, which I do every day. I can log into my phone with it. I can pay for items if I forgot my credit card or my phone. I can log into work. This is the actual size of the chip. I don't know if you can see that, but it is the size of a grain of rice, literally.
Yeah, I actually went with the actual grain of rice here, but
we're going to shove it into David's wrist.
Looks roughly the same. I just wonder, you haven't gotten any pushback at all on this, Todd, at this point? I mean, people are happy to have this. Are they afraid you're tracking them beyond work?
No, we have had, some normal pushback, which comes with anything you do. However, what we've really done with this, I think, is you see a lot of discussion now about implants and how they can, take your heartbeat, get your blood glucose levels. You see Amazon just hiring a top-notch doctor. You see Walmart filing for patents on this. What we've really done is sort of made it acceptable, or brought it in the forefront where people are now talking about it and looking at the benefits that it can do for a person.
So do you have sort of this objective to expand the capabilities or services attached to this, or to kind of market this as a product, or is it really just kind of adding convenience for people there?
We did this, honestly, initially just for fun, because that's what a technology company does. And often when you start with something, you end with something completely different. And that's the case here. We started with a simple little chip, and now it's evolved into a whole nother business, which we're in development right now of an actual chip that will be powered by the human body, the heat, and it'll have GPS tracking capabilities along with voice recognition.
Ah, 007. Q. Please excuse the mess. Everything's a little bit up in the air, what with the changes and all. Couple of things to get through. Shall we get started? Just relax. That's it, lovely. Now, you may feel a small... Christ! Prick.
What is it?
Cutting-edge nanotechnology. Smart blood. Microchips in your bloodstream allows us to track your movements in the field. You see those readouts? We can monitor your vital signs from anywhere on the planet.
That sounds marvelous.
Call it a post-Mexico insurance policy. By direct order of M.
Are you ready for it?
We create life itself out of chaos.
I stand before you to announce the first true artificial intelligence, Kronos. Tonight, this night. we enter a new age.
Send and send. It doesn't need the sound effect. I just added that because it makes me laugh.
You promised me they wouldn't touch your eyes. Not after last time.
That was years ago. Grand's had stem cells in her eyes since then.
I can't help thinking... Don't laugh. All these power cuts. Well, what would happen to you?
Nothing. What happens to you in a power cut? Nothing.
So, what about your head?
Can't feel a thing. They inserted the tiniest wafer into my brain and... Oh my God, look at the result. Synced us up. No keyboard. I don't need a keyboard ever again.
You did that by thinking?
It can't read my mind. Not yet, but the wafer tracks activity in the neural pathway and micro movements in the retina to predict what I'm thinking.
But that is reading your mind.
Let's see where everyone is. There's Aunt Rosie. She's at home. Lincoln's in school. Lee's not in school. Should be. Where is he? In the park. Don't tell Rosie. Gran's at home in the kitchen. What a surprise. Let's find Ruby. She's in a bar called the Marine Tide and she's just bought a bottle of House White for £56.
It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
56 quid for the House White?
And we create life itself.
Are you ready for it?
Out of chaos.
Are you ready for it?
One day the AIs are gonna look back on us the same way we look at fossils.
Oh my God, how did it go, Beth? How are you? Did it work? Are you completely synced up now?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'm with Mum and Dad and I've just realised you're in trouble.
You should be in college.
56 quid?
For God's sake, Bethany!
That is amazing. And a little bit like spying. What if I didn't want you tracking me?
Well, that's a good question. Can you imagine? What if your father was having an affair or something?
Okay.
You're in my contacts. That's permission according to the law.
But I still don't understand. You can run software like this on a keyboard. So why do you need the operation?
I'm trying to explain it in ways you can understand, but the connection is so much more. While we were talking, at exactly the same time, I wondered about the 80 Days of Rain, where it came from, why it was, what comes next. And I keyed into satellites just 30 seconds ago, so I can see the course of El Nino, and I can tap into pressure sensors along the Atlantic coast and barometric readings from the ships at sea. If I put all of that together, I'm there. I'm inside it, the tide, the depth of the sea, and the curl of the waves within me. And right now in Charles Street, Pasadena, a 15-year-old girl called Effany Cross has written her first song and put it online, and she's got the sweetest voice. So when I combine all of that, it's joy. In my head, it is absolute joy.
How did you manage to access all this information?
Electrical impulses. Every cell knows and talks to every other cell. They exchange 1,000 bits of information between them per second. Cells group together, forming a giant web of communication, which in turn forms matter. Cells get together, take on one form, deform, reform.
One day the AIs are gonna look back on us the same way we look at fossils.
future that Ernest Cline, the writer of the book, envisioned. I was very careful with Ernie collaborating with me every step of the way to be able to find the movie narrative inside this dense forest of Ernie's profound imagination.
The Oasis being the ultimate toy box with all the toys in the world, and then playing that with one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. It results in just amazing action and such a fun adventure.
Ernest Cline is such a visionary, and I think has seen the future before any of us possibly could even imagine it.